read some Bunny. I read some Bunny, I read some of Bunny. We'll get there eventually. Hello my loves and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and yes, we're at the start of another weekly vlog. This weekly vlog's going to be a bit more unusual, I feel like. Not necessarily. It's just that 2 days this week I won't be updating in this vlog because I plan on having separate videos. One that you would have seen already, and that's my 24-hour readathon, which is meant to be starting tonight at midnight. However, I am feeling a bit tired, so I'm thinking I might potentially start it at 8 o'clock this evening and do 8 PM today until 8 PM Monday. That way I can read for a few hours before I sleep. I always aim to be that I can stay up and like not sleep and read and stuff, but I love my sleep. Hopefully I did okay with that, but I'll find out tomorrow and you'll find out, well, should have already found out before this one. But I thought I'd do at least kick off this vlog. I am in the middle of reading 3 books. Now 2 of them are buddy reads, so this week I will be finishing off Nettle and Bone, which I am reading with Ellie from Bibbidi Bobbidi Books and Steph from Skim with Steph. We've got the last few chapters to go this week and I plan on finishing this one up, probably not today because Sunday it's a bit early, or tomorrow because it's my 24-hour readathon. Maybe Tuesday I'll be reading this one. I might do what I have been doing, which is splitting it up, so I tend to read about 2 chapters one day and then the rest another day, so I might do that. We will see. I am also in the middle of reading Bunny by Mona Awad, but I'm reading this with a friend at work. I haven't read any more of this since last week and I don't know whether I'll be reading much more of this. I am meeting her on Wednesday, which is going to be another video which I won't be updating on that day with, unless of course I do read some more of Bunny with her then. But I am enjoying this. It's very weird, very chaotic, and I'm about almost a third of the way through. But yeah, very unusual. So those are the 2 buddy reads. And then the other book that I started last week is Witch Child by Celia Rees, and I then put this one down because it started out absolutely amazing, but then we got to this point where our main character Mary, is pretending to be a Puritan to stop herself from being prosecuted for being a witch because her grandmother was, and just to help protect all of that, so she becomes a Puritan. And it's okay, but those parts, it's just got really slow and I'm just not really interested in the Puritan lifestyle. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm thinking rather than starting a new book today and then reading something completely different for my 24-hour readathon and all of that, I might, if I feel like reading, pick up this because it is really easy to read. Like, it's journal entries, it's very quick, so I might do that and just see how much more I get through. And if after doing that today I'm still not enjoying it, then I will put this book down and DNF. But I'm also intrigued because that first part really did grip my attention, which I explained last week, so I'm not going to get back into, but yeah. So I'm thinking that's the plan today. I also have a few things that I want to do today. I've got to pop into town, I want to get my boots rehealed, I've got stuff to drop off at the charity shop, I've just got things to do, which is kind of what I left today as a day to catch up on like editing and bits and bobs, so that I can have tomorrow to just do nothing, which is going to be amazing. Well, I say nothing, I'm going to be reading, which is going to be great. But the first thing I'm going to be doing today is getting some coffee because I am very tired. Right, well, I'm gonna go and I'll probably update before I start my 24-hour readathon just to see if I read anything. Otherwise you'll probably see me Tuesday. I don't know, we're gonna see how this goes. I forgot to say I hope you're all doing very well. Let me know what you've been up to. But yes, for now I think we're gonna go get some coffee. I am very tired. Good afternoon. Okay, so I think we started off on Sunday where I said if I was going to pick up a book that it would be Witch Child. That never happened. I just didn't read anything. Instead, I did. I started my 24-hour readathon at 8 o'clock on Sunday, so I just read books for that instead. So I hadn't read anything up until that point in the day, and I thought there's no point in starting with this considering I'm going to be starting the readathon shortly anyway. So yeah, that didn't happen, and in all honesty, I feel like, is this really going to happen, or am I going to keep telling myself that and just never actually pick it up? I feel like it's going to be the second one, but we'll see. Instead, I went into Bromley, my local town, did a bit of shopping. I had good fun. I went to mainly, as we know, reheal my boots. I didn't do on Saturday at all. I dropped them in today to somewhere else. But I did drop off some bits to the charity shop, had a little look around, didn't see anything there, but I did go to TK Maxx, and TK Maxx have their Halloween stuff out, and so I got this. Now yes, this is actually a ceramic pot that you're meant to cook with. I'm not using it for that, as you saw. I'm using it for my sweets. It's so cute. And when I eventually move and I have my own kitchen and everything, then this is gonna look so cute there. Will I ever use it to cook in? I don't know. I loved it. I couldn't say no to it. So yeah, I picked that up. I didn't go mad because I do only have my little bedroom. And as much as I saw so many things that I'm like, oh, that would be amazing for when I finally move. Yeah, I didn't. I just got that because I was like, I can find a use for that. So that was great. And I also picked up a little phone stand because where I'm doing TikToks and that, I want something more stable that I can actually use so I can do some like face on videos. So I got myself a little stand, and it's so cute. It's a pink bunny. It's very cute. I'm very happy with this. So that was Saturday. No, Sunday. What am I talking about Saturday? Sunday was when I spoke. Oh, good Lord. Never mind. And then yesterday, obviously we have the separate video, which would have come out before this one for the 24-hour readathon. After that finished, all I did was literally just play on Animal Crossing for a couple of hours and then go to bed. I was so worn out, even though I'd done nothing. Never really understand that, but there we go. And then this morning, I've been editing the 24-hour readathon, and then I met my partner, we walked the dog, and we had lunch together, which we planned to go to the Japanese curry house up in London, but it was really busy and my partner had work, so we had a time frame to work in, and it was just like, it's just, I'd rather get something to eat before he has work than risk not be, you know, time frames and all of that. Just ended up going to a coffee shop and getting like a toasty and stuff, nothing fancy. Nice little morning. And then on my train back home, I did start Lonely Castle in the Mirror. So I'm only 24 pages in, and it seems to me that we're following Kokoro, and she is very lonely. There's been some sort of incident which she keeps alluding to at school. From the sounds of it, she was bullied anyway at school, but then there seems to be this bigger incident, and now she just doesn't go to school, and it's something where through her choice she just doesn't want to go to school because of this incident. She was meant to start a new school that's not mainstream school, but she just can't bring herself to go. She keeps having these really bad stomach cramps and headaches. That's all really interesting. Like, I really want to know what happened and what's gone on there. And she's just stumbled into the Mirror for the first time, which she got really freaked out about and went straight back into her room. Writing style seems really easy to read from, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I do plan to read more. However, tonight I'm actually going to read Nettle and Bone. Dev's already finished it, and she said crying face emoji. It was a lot. Now I'm scared. And I also want to know, so I'm thinking I might potentially finish it tonight, or at least read, I think we've got 5 chapters left, maybe read like 2 chapters. We'll see how tired I am, see how much I've got to. I want to edit one more video this afternoon. So yeah, so I'm not sure when I'm going to get back to Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I have high hopes. I'm enjoying it. And that's it, really. I feel like so much has happened and I want to chat to you about it, but it was already in a video, so I don't need to go over the 24-hour readathon because there's already a video for that. And even tomorrow I won't be talking too much about what I do because that's going to be a separate video, although that will be coming out a little bit later, so that'll be after this. I don't know exactly when, but that's a book shopping day that I'm doing with my friend. We're going to Lewis, I don't know how to pronounce, a lot of people say it Lewis, but it's spelt Lose in my mind. I'll put the name up here, but we're going to go out for lunch, and there's meant to be like loads of bookshops and stuff, so I'm going to turn that into an actual video as well. I'm going to go, I've got editing to do, and hopefully we'll get some books read, obviously, because this is a reading vlog. Okay, just stop it. Just stop. Stop while we're ahead. We're not even ahead at this point. Just stop. I'm gonna go and spare you, and yeah, I'm just gonna go. I am very excited for today. As we know, I am going book shopping with my friend, although it is meant to rain all day, so umbrellas at the ready. Regardless of that though, I did actually finish Nettle and Bone last night. This was really good. I really enjoyed this. The ending, oh, realising I'm holding it upside down, but the ending of this was lovely. I liked how it all worked out. Like, I think it just worked. It worked for me. I really enjoyed this book. My sister now wants to read it, so I'll be taking that down to her when I see her next month, and yeah, I'm excited to see what she thinks of this. I will say, if you like a dark fairy tale, that is what this book is. It's so good for that. And while yes, it's fast-paced in the sense that you do have skips over things, so like they're traveling things, you'll get a few pages on it, but you won't actually get like in detail of what they're actually doing on a day-to-day travelling thing. But I also really liked that. It kept the pace up nicely, but at no point did it feel too fast or like I wasn't getting enough detail. Are there things that I wish was expanded upon? Yes, but that's just because I loved this world and I want to know more about it, not because I'm not happy with it, if that makes any sense. But I would just love to see more books set in this world by her. I also really enjoyed the author's note. I read that afterwards and it was so interesting to see how this book developed for her. So yeah, I think what I want is just more of this story, because the actual storyline itself, the plot and everything, wrapped up beautifully, worked really well, but I do desperately want more of this world. I want to know more about these things, and I would list it off, but that would be spoilers, so I'm not going to do that. One thing I do know is I'm definitely going to be picking up more of her books because this was fantastic. I really enjoyed this, so I'm definitely on the hunt for any more by this author. I can't wait to read it. I know she does, like, each book is different, a bit like V. Schwab is the other author that I know that does this, where she will write books for different audiences, and some of those will be a swing and a miss for some people and other books will be absolutely amazing. So I'm really intrigued to see where I fall with this and just see whether I just like her world building in general or whether there are only certain ones of her writing that I can gel with. I always find that really interesting when authors are able to write across a variety and for different audiences. Really excited. I'm really pleased I finished this, and I'm extra pleased that I got to read this with Steph and Ellie and discuss our thoughts and everything. It was just so good, and we should definitely be doing another buddy read soon, hopefully. I don't know with what book, but I've now said it that is what I want to happen. So we're manifesting, people. Enough of that. Today I will be taking Bunny with me because the friend that I'm going book shopping with is the friend that we're buddy reading Bunny with. She's got a bit ahead of me now, so I have some catching up to do, but that's absolutely fine. I'm going to be doing that on the train because the total train journey for me is about an hour. That would be really nice to be able to read that. I have my annotating supplies because this book is weird, but I'm very excited to carry on with that one. And yeah, we're gonna see how today goes. I am hoping to do a separate video for this day, as I've already said, so you won't be getting in-depth details of what I get up to, but just know we're going book shopping and there should be a video coming up eventually of that. So yeah, okay, I've got to actually start that video and then I've got to pack my bag and go, so I should probably start doing that. Good morning. It doesn't much look like morning, but I promise it actually is. It's just very overcast and raining, which is honestly lovely. I've got the window open, so I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the rain or not, but it is lovely. So yesterday, as we know, I did go out with my friend and I should have a whole separate video for that one. But while I was there, I read some Bunny. I read some of Bunny. We'll get there eventually. But this is just weird. Now, the train journey itself there was really long. My train got delayed at both ends. It took a while, so I managed to get quite a bit of this read. So I'm now up to chapter 24, page 237. So this is one that I've been buddy reading with my friend at work, and because I was meeting that same friend yesterday, I read some more on the train, and it was lovely to actually just sit there discussing our book over lunch and everything, because this is such an unusual book. So in this one we're following Samantha, and she goes to this school called Warren, and that's a very elite school for writers. Part of her workshop is that there's 4 girls there, and the last year she didn't like working with them at all. She felt very excluded all the time, and you see for a lot of the beginning of this book she is just completely obsessed with these girls. She wants to basically be them, but also ridicules them at the same time. Like, she's extremely jealous of them, and so that was really interesting to see that bit. Now we're up to part 2, and she was kind of a part of this group. She was no longer using, well, I thought this, I think so. She was now using we did this, we thought this, because she saw herself as part of this group of bunnies, which is what she calls them. She also gives them a lot of bunny attributes, and this book really is just unusual and mind-blowing, and it's just so strange. Like, I will be surprised if you can sit there and understand it, especially on a first read. We're now up to a point where she's had a bit of falling out with the bunnies, and she's so desperate to be accepted that she cannot stand the thought of being excluded from them anymore. Like, she is on the verge of tears when she thinks that they're going to push her out the group, and then they don't, and she is so thankful. Like, she will do anything for them, and that's what's so unusual about this. Her other friend that she had at the start of this book, but who she just drifts away from because she gets so wrapped up within this group of girls, says to her, "You're in a cult." Like, she proper tries to get her away from it and out of it, but Samantha just doesn't want to be saved. She wants to be a part of this group, and as much of her knows that this is wrong, that this isn't right, she can't tear herself away. And it's so interesting, it's so unusual, it's just weird. Weird is the word for it, and there's a lot of influences from a lot of other books. Like, I would actually say you've got a lot of Alice in Wonderland in here. Obviously, that's a clear one, but also I would even argue a bit of Frankenstein, just in terms of creating things and not taking responsibility of those creations and just playing at God, or goddesses in this case. There's a lot of connections to a lot of other literary books, and in general this talks about writing, just the terms of how to write. Do you need a plot line? It questions a lot in this, and yeah, it's so unusual but also so clever. So definitely buddy reading this with someone is the way I would suggest going, because it just enables you to talk over all your different views, all your different opinions, what you think is going to happen in it. So yeah, that was really good. I feel like I'm too close. Hang on. She says after chatting for 5 minutes about that book, but it's very unusual. I haven't decided what I'm going to read for the rest of the week. I am in the middle of Bunny and Lonely Castle in the Mirror, which is across the room, and then I also have a short story, like a tiny little book that I'm meant to read this month as well, and I have about a week left of the month, so I haven't quite decided what one I'm going to do. Bunny, I'm not in any rush to finish because I am buddy reading that, so I'm just having a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll see. I've got loads of editing and stuff I need to do. Right, well, I should probably stop rambling and get on with that. But yeah, I just really wanted to update about Bunny because it's just so unusual and I have so many theories, but then the more I read, the less like I'm like, oh, I don't think this theory was right. And I don't want to say, obviously, because the spoilers and that, but yeah, I really want to see what happens and how it ends. I think we've got about, we've got about 140 pages left to go. So I really am excited to see where that's going to go. But right, okay, stop talking about it, get on with the day. I'll catch up with you soon. Good afternoon. I am a little bit worn out. I have done an early shift. It's now almost 3:15 in the afternoon, but I've been up since 5, so I'm rather tired. Anyway, tangent, reading wise is why we're here. I actually finished Bunny. This is so weird. This is probably the most weirdest book I've ever read, apart from one other book, which I will get to in a minute. This was so unusual, and I like the ending actually. I like the way it did everything, which obviously I'm not going to get into because of spoilers, but I thought it was a really interesting concept. And basically this story is about someone that is just so alone, and all she wants is a home and to feel wanted and loved by someone, just to feel accepted as part of something. And that's why she has this such fascination of this group and ends up getting caught up in their cult basically, and is just drowning in it because all she wants is to be accepted, and she does feel so lost and alone. And it's what happens when you are at that brink of loneliness, like what will it do to you? And I liked it. I thought it was really good. It was dark at times, it was humorous at others, the way it went about everything, all the connections to other books, it was good. I did enjoy this one actually. It's one of those ones that I can say I finished it on Friday, and I didn't want to update straight away because I wanted that time to process what I had just read and decide, how do I actually feel about this book? And I'm fascinated by it. Like, I can definitely see a reread happening where I pick up on so many things. So yeah, I weirdly liked this one. As I said, this is one of the weirdest books I've ever read. Another book that it really reminds me of that I have mentioned recently is Vita Nostra, and this is a translated book. It's so good. It feels very similar to this, and so if you like Bunny, I would give Vita Nostra a try, or vice versa. It's similar in the concepts of everything, which again I don't want to say too much because it will give things away. That it was good. And again, Vita Nostra is a book that when I initially read it, I didn't think I liked it, but I've also never stopped thinking about it. It's a good book. Like, if you can have a book that you read and you're constantly thinking about it, it just randomly pops into mind and you just can't seem to not relate things back to it or talk about it, then you know it is actually a good book. So I think both of these, like Bunny and Vita Nostra, are going to be really good upon reread. I'm really glad that I actually finished this story. I know it's not going to be for everyone, and that's absolutely fine, but for me, I liked it. Today, I have read more of Lonely Castle in a Mirror. I'm actually up to part 2, so we're on page 123. I don't know how I'm feeling about this one. I like it. I like the concept behind it. Again, this book is dealing with loneliness. Bullying is a massive trigger warning in this, so please go into that aware of that. The frustration and fear that comes with being bullied, and how that fear can fester, and then finding somewhere that feels again like home, like you're being included and stuff. But what I'm starting to dislike is our main character. She just does some certain things and thinks certain things and in a certain way that I find really frustrating. So I'm really hoping we get some character development in this book. If we do, I think this could be a really good book. If we don't, I think I'm just going to feel a bit, it's not a bad book, but I just don't connect with the character. And for me, a book is so much about the character and also like the general vibes. I like the general vibes, I like what this is doing, I like portal fantasies, and this is kind of like that younger range as well, so you could have this as honestly like almost like a YA book, or someone going from middle grade into YA. I think this would be a good one so far, but at the same time, the main character is really frustrating. So she's been going to the castle, and there is this group of children there, and they all have their own reasons why they're in this castle. However, our main character, Kokoro, she has a lot of prejudices about things and just assumptions about the way things are, and also gender roles is a big thing in this book, which could just be obviously a cultural thing, but it is really frustrating of, oh, girls don't like video games, or oh, I never thought boys would be good at this sort of thing. Like, it's really frustrating. I didn't think that that sort of thing would bother me, but it actually really does, because it's just like, shouldn't matter what gender you are. But that really annoys me. And then also just the way she treats certain people, the way she handles a situation. So she has a disagreement with someone because she says to one of the kids there that she doesn't like RPGs, so role-playing games. And he's just like arguing about why they are so good, and he's making a point, and he goes, you know, I've played this story and I cried. And she kind of makes a little bit of fun at him for crying, and he's just like, well, don't you cry at books or at a TV show or something like that when it emotionally gets to you? And she says, well, yes. And he's like, well, it's the exact same thing. He was just like, it's still a story just because it's done in a different format. But she gets really annoyed, he gets annoyed at her. And later when she's explaining the situation to the other kids, she then says, oh, but he was really frustrating me and I just got all fed up with it. And I was just like, oh, you're being really childish. And I think that's the thing, it's just, she is very childish and she is a child. And so I understand that, but it's vexing at times, which I think is just because I'm wanting her to just come at things in a different way, just more understanding and less prejudices and stereotyping. And yeah, I have to remind myself, well, she's a young person, like she's a young child. It's understandable that they have these things, and like she can grow, and you do, like when you're a kid and stuff, you do have set ways of seeing things, and it's not until you grow up and realise certain like, I don't know what I'm saying, but I think it's just because she's a bit younger, and there's a moment where her and her mum are arguing and she's just, the way she reacts, and I'm just thinking that's so over the top. But then I also think back to when I was younger and I'm just like, actually, to be fair, I was probably that dramatic, but it's really annoying to read. So I think that's just to do with her age more than anything else, and that's why I'm not connecting with it, because I'm just like, oh, you're so young. And it's been a while since I've read about a character this young that's also kind of this realistic of being so young, whereas a lot of the books I've read with a younger character, they do seem to be aged up in the way they react to things, which now that I'm thinking about it, that's not realistic. So maybe I just need a different mindset for that. But overall, I am enjoying the actual storyline to this. I like how they are growing. I like that we're learning more about Kokoro in general, and just how this deeply embedded fear because of all the bullying has now led her to have such sheer anxiety of going outside, and the reality of how bullying can do that to someone. And like I said, that realization of the things that I don't like about her is just because she is younger, and that is how, well, I can't say how you act as kids, but it's definitely how I would have acted. So yeah, I can't really say that. Maybe it's just I'm seeing too much of myself in this person. Maybe that's it. And I'm annoyed at my younger self, like I've grown so much, so maybe I just want her to have that same journey. Wow, the self-realization. Or this could just be a really tired ramble. Who actually knows? But yes, I am actually going to be finishing the vlog here though, so we'll be carrying on with this in next week's vlog and finishing that up for the month. I am enjoying it as much as I did just ramble. Anyway, I've said that bit. I'm gonna stop. I'm genuinely tired, and that makes me ramble more than normal. And my friend at work, who I've actually been buddy reading bunny with, she said to me that she finds it hilarious in my videos because I'll say I'm rambling and then continue to talk for ages, and she's just like, you just ramble. And I know, and when I'm tired it's even worse. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop. That's the updates. Finished the weirdest book I've read this year for definite. In general, I think I'd have to reread Vita Nostra to see which one I find weirder out of the two, which maybe I'll do that eventually. And then yeah, continuing on with this one next week. And I do love this cover though. It's so stunning. It's so beautiful and simple. This is probably one of my favourite covers. I do really love it. I'm still rambling. Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna go. So thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, then leave any pink emoji. Any emoji with pink in it, because this book is just beautiful. So yeah, that's the emoji, and I'm gonna go. So if you have enjoyed it, please do give it that thumbs up, subscribe, comment to let me know that you're here. Social media links will be linked below, and I will of course catch you in the next one.